Yo, what's up, guys? GodJohnson here, but you guys can call me Seth. Today we're going to be talking about life path number 4. We got a long way to go. We're here for it. We're going to be talking about life path number 4's traits, life path number 4's gifts and abilities, life path number 4's career paths, life purpose, celebrities that are life path number 4. We're gonna go pretty in depth. I have 3 brothers that are life path number 4s, and a lot of family members. And life path number 4. Let me see. Do I have any green in here? My backpack's got some green, but life path number 4s are this greeny kind of stable force on Earth. They're very, very helpful, very needed, very awesome. Very awesome. They do a lot for this world. They're like trees, and oftentimes they're tall like trees and stuff. You've seen them before. But yeah, so let's talk about some traits. We got life path number 4s are very hardworking. I'm not going to say that this is a trait that comes naturally, but something that's interesting about the life path. When we say life path, we're talking about the course in which your life takes. So you're going to experience things that expound on these specific themes. So you might not have been born hardworking. You might say, okay, I'm extremely lazy. But the world will probably perceive you as hardworking in some ways, or you'll encounter a lot of things that'll make you need to be hardworking, which is fun. That's a part of the life path. So I'm throwing out these traits. These are more so just keywords for your life path as a life path number 4. Okay, so the first keyword is hardworking. You'll need to probably pick up the ability to be hardworking throughout your path. Even if you're lazy, you need to find some way to work smarter, not harder. Another keyword would be resourceful. Utilizing your resources, trying to find ways to make things easier that might be difficult, working smarter, not harder. So we also got resilient. This is a very big one because life path number 4, that path we're talking about, imagine the path with me, because we're talking about life paths. You need to be resilient, or it requires resilience, because you guys are going to encounter a lot of blocks that you have to find a way to get over. It starts here. It could start as a really high block, and you have to find a way to climb it, get over, and then keep moving. Or it can start really small and build its way up. But you guys need to develop a way to keep pushing forward. Keep going, because your path is long and hard. And I don't want to put that on everybody and say that, because your life before your life's going to be hard. But the cool thing about the path is you get the tools to manage the path with it. So, I like to think that you guys pick your life paths before you come here. So you signed up to be a 4 because you said, okay, I want stability, I want growth for myself, I want wealth, I want to leave things behind for the people that come after me, all of these things. You guys picked it, so we just gotta rock with it. Next keyword is practical. You guys are very practical. Most of what you guys will encounter are like, I guess, practical things. And towards your goal, you'll take a practical approach towards it. So say your goal is to change all of this for people 10 years or 20 years down the line. You take a practical approach. You say, okay, these are the steps I want to take. That's my goal. How do I take the steps to get there? Who do I need? How much money do I need? How much work does it take? How much time? Because also, if you're lazy, you say, okay, what's the easiest way I can do this? That makes sense. And the building I won't build it, and then it'll just crumble shortly after. You guys are responsible for making sure the structure is sturdy. I'm not sponsored by Hydro Flask, but if you guys want to sponsor me, I love Hydro Flask. Okay, so practical. Most of your goals will be very practical. I talked about life path number 3s in the last video. You guys' goals might be less practical. You guys might just I want to be a spiritual guru, and I want to acquire a bunch of spiritual knowledge, and I just want to tell people about it. That's not very practical in that there's no return that you can guarantee. It's like, okay, I know if I work at McDonald's, I'm going to get 15 or 14.50 an hour, and this is how much money I'm going to make if I do 8 hours, do double shifts, and this yada yada yada, and that's how I'll buy my car. This is Life Path 4, or Life Path 3s, or there's other numbers too, which we haven't explored, so they don't exist yet. Other numbers might just say, it's the idea. I just want to see the idea out, regardless of what comes from it. The practical aspect is, I want to see this pen exist. They're like, okay, well, what's the benefit of the pen? It looks cool. You don't like the way the pen looks? And so Life Path 4 is like, okay, 3, I like your idea. To give the pen some value, why don't we put smart scholarships on it? You know what I'm saying? Why don't we advertise a practical company? People go and say, okay, what's smart scholarships? Oh, I can look here for scholarships. Oh my goodness. Then you go blah, 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 and there's a whole practical route underneath 3's idea of just, this cool black and purple pen. I like the pen. Next one is structural. I feel like practical kind of covers that, but to expound on it, building structures, first encountering structures as obstacles at times, not in the sense of like maybe a Life Path 1 where you want to like break down structures and change them and yada yada yada, but just like some type of this is a good one, but some type of like issue with structure to start you off, whether that's a lack thereof that requires you to become the structure, but you guys are structural, meaning like you are the representation of a structure. This aspect of it kind of is like in the advice portion, and we are only 11 minutes in, so we can go into it. But when I say lack thereof in terms of structure, father figures can come into this, which is a little tricky, I know. But not having a structure that you felt you might have needed at some point in your life that causes you to have to embody that said structure.
You know what, man? You make what matters matter. Being a father is by far one of the greatest things that I could have ever been blessed with, It's great to be in the same room with someone who actually had an experience with my father, because I didn't. So to even hear him talk about it, I'm like, well, shit, that's great that you did, because I didn't get a chance to really get to know my dad. My father and I were separated. Well, long story. However, my mother, she raised me as a single parent. She was remarried. So my father wasn't part of my life. And sometimes an absentee father can become a great example for what it is to be one. And I try to be that. I try to be, there for my kids, to take them to school in the morning, to have breakfast with them, scold them when they need it. I mean, they're 5 and 6, so it's still in an age where they're trying to develop and get an idea about what life is. So I try to just not only be a good example in what I do, they see that daddy works. Like any man would want their kids to see them work, because you have to work hard to succeed in life, period. But I make them a priority.
Be the physical presence, the raw, strong physical presence, like a father, or like a building, or like a firefighter, this and that, whatever. That's on your path. I'm trying to line it up. I'm looking at the cameras. But anyway, so some structure in your life is pulled or not included for the 4, because when you come in, you're the structure. So you might say, okay, why didn't we have food growing up? Or why didn't I have this parent around? Or this and that. The role that you just instinctually know was supposed to be filled, it's not there because you coming in fills that role. So now, you might be wondering, Mr. GodJohnson, what is the point of going through all this hard stuff? You mentioned the goal at the end of the tunnel and all that stuff. That's awesome. I want to be rich. But why do I have to go through the hard knock life for us? You know what I'm saying? Why do I need to go through that? That takes us to life path number 4 is purpose. Or purpose is. I'll say purpose, and then I'll kind of dive into like themes that you'll encounter, or your meaning for your purpose. Like, what's the purpose of the purpose? What's the purpose of the path?